double helix structure of DNA in detail. And before getting into the detail, first let us talk about the discoveries related to the structure of DNA and also about the composition of DNA. So first let us talk about the discoveries. So the very first one is, like children, first of all, Friedrich Miescher in around 1869 identified DNA as an acidic substance which is present in the nucleus, and he termed that substance as nuclein, right? Now the second important discovery, like James Watson and Francis Crick in 1953, they proposed double helix model of DNA structure on the basis of X-ray diffraction, produced by Maurice Wilkins and Rosalind Franklin. So that thing we have discussed in our earlier videos. Like one of the very important feature of this model is the complementary base pairing. It means that if the sequence of base in one strand is known, then the sequence of other strand can be determined, right? So complementary base pairing is the very important feature of this double helix model. The third discovery is the Erwin Chargaff. Children, Erwin Chargaff actually observed for a double-stranded DNA. He suggests that the ratio of adenine and thymine and guanine and cytosine are constant and equal to 1:1, right? Like it is shown in this slide, A plus T by G plus C is always 1, right? So इससे रिलेटेड कई तरीके के क्वेश्चन हम आगे प्रैक्टिस करेंगे. Like if we know the amount of adenine, then the thymine is equivalent to adenine, right? So in that way we can easily determine the other consequences, the other new nitrogen bases. So if we know the amount of adenine, then it is equivalent to thymine. So in that way we can determine the percentage of each and every nitrogenous bases. For example, children, if we know the percentage of cytosine, so we know that C is equals to 20%, right? So what will be the percentage of guanine? The percentage of guanine is also 20%, right? Now according to the Chargaff rule, that is A plus T equals to 100 minus G plus C, right? Now if we actually putting the values of C and G, because we know the value of C, so obviously the same value is of G. So now we aware about the values of C and G. तो हम इसको कैसे लिखेंगे? A plus T equals to 100 minus 20, और 20 कितना हुआ? 40. तो हमने लिख दिया 40, राइट? तो A plus T कितना हुआ? 60. अब A और T की वैल्यू 60 हुई, तो सिर्फ इसमें से A की वैल्यू कितनी होगी? 30, और T की वैल्यू कितनी होगी? 30. सो A की परसेंटेज कितनी आ गई? एडेनाइन कितने परसेंटेज हुआ? 30%, और थाइमाइन कितने परसेंटेज हुआ? 30%. So in that way we can determine the percentage, we can calculate the percentage of these nitrogenous bases, right? So this is the Chargaff rule. So in that way, time to time the discoveries related to the structure of DNA, related to the composition of DNA were proposed by the different scientists, right? So here we have discussed about the three discoveries. First we have discussed about the Friedrich Miescher. So Friedrich Miescher is actually identified the DNA as the acidic substance, and then Watson and Crick actually proposed the double helical structure, the model of double helical structure on the basis of X-ray diffraction. Then we have discussed about the Erwin Chargaff, right? So in Erwin Chargaff actually observed about the double-stranded DNA and the ratio between the adenine and thymine and guanine and cytosine. So he actually determined the ratio of these nitrogenous bases, right? So this is about the discoveries which is related to the structure of DNA as well as to the composition of DNA. Now let us talk about the double helix structure of DNA, right? Talking about the double helix structure of DNA in detail. So children, this is the double helix structure of DNA, and this double helix structure of DNA, it is composed of the very important, now we will discuss about the features of DNA, right? So the very important thing that it is composed of two polynucleotide chain. So the double helix, which is formed by two ribbon like structures, right? So it is shown over there in the purple color, right? So they are nothing but the polynucleotide chains, right? Now sugar phosphate forms the backbone. So children, as I mentioned, that strands are basically made up of sugar and the phosphate group, and these sugar and phosphate of the multiple nucleotides join together by phosphodiester bonding, right? So these things we have already discussed. So actually what will be the backbone of DNA? So that the backbone of DNA is made up of by sugar and phosphates, right? And it is clearly visible in this picture. In this picture it is visible that this blue color is nothing, it is the sugar, and this yellow color is the phosphate. So the phosphate and the sugar of different nucleotide, they join together by phosphodiester bond and form the backbone of the DNA, right? Now nitrogen bases forms the interior paired through the hydrogen bonds, right? So this is one of the very important feature. So children, if you see, so these are what they are, the nitrogenous bases, right? So in this picture, this A, G, C, T, these are what they are, the nitrogenous bases, right? So let us suppose this is, now in this picture, this is T, this is G, this is C, this is A. So what they are the nitrogenous bases, right? And again here A, G, C and T, what are they? So they are again the nitrogenous bases. So children, nitrogenous bases, they form the interior side. तो आप देख रहे हो इसमें कि they are basically located at the interior side, right? They actually form the stairs of these staircases, and they are joined together by the hydrogen bonds, right? So what kind of bonds are there which helps the nitrogen bases being together? तो जो इन नाइट्रोजन बेसिस के बीच में जो बॉन्डिंग होती है वो कौन सी बॉन्डिंग होती है? वो होती है डबल हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड. ए और टी के बीच में डबल हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड और सी और जी के बीच में ट्रिपल हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड, राइट? So basically as I mentioned also that nitrogen bases are present in one chain and the nitrogenous bases are also present in the other chain, right? So they form a bond between them, and that is how the steps are being formed of the staircase, right? So this is about the nitrogenous bases. So as we have discussed that nitrogen bases form the interior and they are paired up by the hydrogen bond, right? Now the complementary base pairing. Now children, this is one of the most important property of the structure of DNA, and you can see that this property of DNA plays a most important role behind the fact that DNA plays an important role in inheritance. Now let us see how. Children, that we will see it later, right? So let us see what is complementary base pairing. So children, complementary base pairing would mean that any of the base cannot bound with any of the bases. It is actually that adenine is always paired up with thymine by the double hydrogen bond, and guanine always paired up with cytosine by triple hydrogen bond. And children, here adenine and guanine are what? They are purines, and thymine and cytosine, they are what? They are pyrimidines, right? And it is seen that one double bond binds adenine and thymine, whereas one triple bond binds guanine to cytosine. So here you see that thymine and cytosine, what are they? They are pyrimidine. And if you look at adenine and guanine, what are they? They are purines. So basically one purine will pair up with one pyrimidine. Now please remember that any purine pair up with any pyrimidine. A can never pair up with C, right? प्यूरीन का pyrimidine के साथ बाउंडिंग होती है, पर ऐसा नहीं है कि किसी भी प्यूरीन के किसी भी pyrimidine के साथ बाउंडिंग हो जाएगी, right? A can never pair up with C. A can only pair up with thymine. Similarly, if we talk about the thymine can pair up with adenine. Guanine can pair up with cytosine, right? So similarly, cytosine can only pair up with guanine. And this is how the complementary base pairing. So adenine and thymine has complement to each other. Similarly, cytosine and guanine has complement to each other. So now due to this pairing, due to this kind of complementary base pairing, the process of replication of DNA becomes very easy, right? So here the one question arises in our mind, what is replication? Replication, that is copying or creating a copy of DNA. So that copy creation become easy due to this बेस पेयरिंग। ये जब आगे हम सारा डिटेल में डिस्कस करेंगे तब आपको समझ में आएगा कि कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री बेस पेयरिंग इतनी इंपॉर्टेंट क्यों है। कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री बेस पेयरिंग इसलिए इंपॉर्टेंट है बिकॉज दिस विल हेल्प इन द DNA replication. So because of this complementary base pairing, the copy creation becomes very easy, right? So if we know the sequence of one strand of DNA, then we can determine the sequence of other strand, right? For example, I tell you how are the base located on one strand. For example, if I say that on the one strand, right, on the one strand the bases are located in the order A, T, T, A, G and TC. So this is the one strand, and on this one strand the bases are located in this order, right? So what would be the sequence of bases on the other strand? Complementary strand पे क्या बेस की सीक्वेंसेस होंगी? Yes, of course, you find it out. Like A की पेयरिंग किससे होगी? A की पेयरिंग होगी T से, यहाँ पे भी T, और इन T के साथ पेयरिंग होगी A और A. इस A की पेयरिंग होगी T से, G की पेयरिंग होगी C से, T की पेयरिंग होगी A से, और C की पेयरिंग होगी G से. So this would be the sequence of base on the other strand, right? So that is complementary base pairing is very important feature of the structure of DNA, right? So let us look at the another very important feature of DNA, that is uniform distance is maintained between two strands of helix, right? Now let us see. So children, from starting to the end, the entire chain is of the uniform thickness, right? स्टार्टिंग से लेकर एंड तक जो इनकी थिकनेस होती है इट ऑलवेज रिमेन्स यूनिफॉर्म, राइट, सेम होती है ये. व्हाई इज इट सो चिल्ड्रन? दैट इज बिकॉज इफ यू सी प्रॉपरली एवरी टाइम वन प्यूरीन इज पेयर अप विद pyrimidine. किसी भी जगह आप देख लीजिए, एक प्यूरीन की पेयरिंग बॉन्डिंग किससे हो रही है? एक प्यूरीन की बॉन्डिंग हो रही है pyrimidine से. प्यूरीन की अगर हम बात करते हैं तो प्यूरीन जो होता है डबल रिंग स्ट्रक्चर होता है. pyrimidine की अगर हम बात करें तो सिंगल रिंग स्ट्रक्चर होता है. सो व्हेन बॉन्ड इज एक्चुअली फॉर्म्ड बिटवीन अ डबल रिंग एंड अ सिंगल रिंग स्ट्रक्चर, इट डज नॉट मैटर कि डबल रिंग किस साइड है. इस साइड इस बार अगर इस बार बात करते हैं तो डबल रिंग इस तरफ, सिंगल रिंग इस तरफ. नेक्स्ट सीक्वेंस की अगर हम बात करें तो सिंगल रिंग इस तरफ है, डबल रिंग इस तरफ है. फिर हम बात करते हैं तो डबल रिंग इस तरफ है, सिंगल रिंग इस तरफ है, राइट. इट डज नॉट मैटर कि डबल रिंग इज विच साइड, वेदर इट इज ऑन द साइड either of the side, right? But end of the day all the steps of the staircase they will occupy the same width. As a result the distance between the two strands remain the same, and therefore uniform distance is maintained between the two strands. Got it? I hope you understand. Like what I am trying to say here, I am trying to say here that the distance between the two strands is always remain uniform. अब ये यूनिफॉर्म मेंटेन कैसे रहता है, एक ही विड्थ कैसे मेंटेन रहती है? क्योंकि जो प्यूरीन होता है वो डबल रिंग स्ट्रक्चर होता है, pyrimidine सिंगल रिंग स्ट्रक्चर होता है. अगली बार अब ज़रूरी नहीं है कि सारे डबल रिंग इस साइड होंगे और सारे सिंगल रिंग इस तरफ होंगे, ये बिल्कुल भी ज़रूरी नहीं है। अगर इस बार प्यूरीन इस तरफ आ गया और पिरिमिडीन इस तरफ आ गया तो भी विड्थ बराबर ही रहेगी। नेक्स्ट टाइम अगर प्यूरीन इस तरफ आ गया, पिरिमिडीन इस तरफ आ गया तो भी रिंग डिस्टेंस विड्थ बराबर रहेगी, क्योंकि इन दो स्ट्रैंड्स के बीच का जो डिस्टेंस है वो 3 रिंग्स आती हैं, हर बार 3 रिंग्स होंगी। तो यही एक रीज़न है कि दो स्ट्रैंड के बीच का जो डिस्टेंस होता है इट इज़ मेंटेन्ड यूनिफॉर्मली, राइट। Now the next important feature is two polynucleotide chain have anti-parallel polarity. Again the very important point to be noted. What do we mean by anti-polarity? Let us try to understand this. Now as I mentioned before, DNA has 2 strands of polynucleotide, right? So here you say that in this figure this is the one strand and so here this is the one strand and this is the another strand, right? Suppose this is chain 1 and this is chain 2. So these are 2 chains which form 2 strands of DNA, and here you see bases are joined together by hydrogen bond, right? So now what happened here? What happened to these 2 chains? So if you look at the free end of these 2 chain, in the first chain this is the 5' end, right? Because phosphate is always free at this 5' end, and this is 3' end. Here the carboxyl group is free, right? तो एक स्ट्रैंड का 5' ये, 3' ये, दूसरे स्ट्रैंड का 3' ये, 5' ये। तो अगर आप इसको ध्यान से देख रहे हो, दिस मेंट बाय एंटी पैरेलल पोलैरिटी, आई मीन कि एक चेन की डायरेक्शन अगर इस तरफ है तो दूसरी चेन की डायरेक्शन इस तरफ है। So it is very much clear in this picture. Here you see the direction of a strand is downward and the other strand it is upward. So they are anti-parallel polarity. Polarity different है and they are parallel to each other. So this is the simple meaning of anti-parallel polarity. 2 chains are running in the opposite side, right? So how do you know that they are running in the opposite direction? ये कैसे पता चलेगा? क्योंकि अपोजिट डायरेक्शन में रन कर रहा है, क्योंकि डायरेक्शन हमेशा 5' से 3' की तरफ होती है। यहाँ पे 5' ये है, 3' ये है तो डायरेक्शन डाउनवर्ड होगी, यहाँ पे 5' ये है, 3' ये है तो डायरेक्शन अपवर्ड होगी। तो स्ट्रैंड्स की पॉलीन्यूक्लियोटाइड की डायरेक्शन इट इज़ ऑलवेज फ्रॉम 5' टू 3', राइट? तो यहाँ पे 5' टू 3' डाउनवर्ड, यहाँ पे 5' टू 3' अपवर्ड, ठीक है। जहाँ फॉस्फेट ग्रुप फ्री होगा वो 5' और जहाँ हाइड्रोक्सिल ग्रुप फ्री होगा वो 3', ओके। नाउ again the next important feature that 2 chains of polynucleotides are coiled in a right-handed fashion, forming a helix. Now children, when we say that DNA has helical structure, helix can be right-handed, it can also be left-handed helix. Helix right hand भी हो सकता है, left handed भी हो सकता है. What I mean by right-handed and left-handed helix? Right-handed helix, left-handed helix का क्या मतलब होता है? Like children, thumb upwards, right? जब thumb upward होता है, so finger curls in the particular direction. Fingers एक particular direction में curl हो रही हैं, जैसे कि इसमें जो हो रही है कर्ल हो रही है क्लॉकवाइज, राइट? सो इस तरीके से, ठीक है। लेफ्ट हैंडेड की बात करते हैं, सो थंब को अप साइड करेंगे, फिंगर एक पर्टिकुलर डायरेक्शन में कर्ल होंगी, लाइक इन द नेक्स्ट टर्न इट इज़ एंटी क्लॉकवाइज, राइट? तो अगर हम बात कर रहे हैं तो राइट हैंडेड का क्या मतलब है? राइट हैंडेड का मतलब है कि आपका राइट हैंड, आपके राइट हैंड को थंब अपवर्ड रखिए और फिंगर एक पर्टिकुलर डायरेक्शन में कर्ल होंगी। फिंगर जब एक पर्टिकुलर डायरेक्शन में कर्ल होती हैं, जैसे आपका राइट हैंड साइड कौन सा है? आपका राइट हैंड साइड है ये वाला, ठीक है। तो इसमें थंब अपवर्ड हुआ और फिंगर किस एक पर्टिकुलर डायरेक्शन में कर्ल हो रही है, ये कौन सा हुआ? एंटी क्लॉकवाइज डायरेक्शन, ठीक है। तो एंटी क्लॉकवाइज डायरेक्शन में अगर कर्ल होगा तो इस तरीके से एक पर्टिकुलर एक्सिस पे जो कर्ल्स होंगे वो पर्टिकुलर एक्सिस पे कर्ल्स इस तरीके से होंगे। तो डीएनए के जो स्ट्रैंड होते हैं वो एंटी क्लॉकवाइज कर्ल होते हैं। तो ये वाला जो होता है ये डीएनए राइट हैंडेड कर्ल होते हैं। हेलिक्स कैसा होता है? राइट हैंडेड हेलिक्स होता है, राइट। नाउ चिल्ड्रन, द नेक्स्ट important thing which I want to discuss with you, that is a very important parameter to denote the helical structure is the pitch of helix. एक important parameter pitch of helix, ये क्या होता है? A pitch in case of DNA, it is 3.4 nanometer, right? Now what is this pitch of helix? Pitch of helix क्या होता है? Pitch is nothing but width of one turn of helix. Pitch क्या है? एक डीएनए हेलिक्स का एक टर्न, वो एक पिच कहलाता है डीएनए का। व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय वन टर्न ऑफ हेलिक्स? हेलिक्स का वन टर्न क्या हुआ? चिल्ड्रन, इफ यू सी हियर इन दिस डायग्राम, जस्ट कंसीडर दैट ओनली द वन स्ट्रैंड। किसी एक स्ट्रैंड को कंसीडर करो, हम कंसीडर करते हैं ये वाला स्ट्रैंड, ठीक है। नाउ फॉर दिस स्ट्रैंड, दिस इज द वन टर्न, राइट। इस हेलिक्स का वन टर्न क्या हुआ? ये। तो इस एक टर्न की जो विड्थ है ये कितनी होती है? 3.4 नैनोमीटर। सो पिच इज नथिंग but the width of one turn. So basically the distance of entire one turn is known as pitch. So pitch of the helix is very important parameter of DNA. That is going to be 3.4 nanometer. Now children, 10 base pairs in each turn. हर एक टर्न में लगभग 10 बेस पेयर प्रेजेंट होते हैं। एक पूरे टर्न में तकरीबन 10 बेस पेयर प्रेजेंट होते हैं। सो दिस इज़ हाउ वी मेजर डिस्टेंस बिटवीन टू बेस पेयर। अब एक टर्न में 10 बेस पेयर प्रेजेंट हैं, राइट। एक पूरे टर्न में 10 बेस पेयर हैं, तो दो बेस पेयर के बीच का डिस्टेंस कितना होगा? दो बेस पेयर के बीच का डिस्टेंस होगा, इट इज़ मेजर्ड एज 3.4 विच इज़ द पिच डिवाइडेड बाय 10, क्योंकि एक पिच में 10 बेस पेयर होते हैं, तो दो बेस पेयर के बीच का डिस्टेंस कितना होगा? 0.34 nanometer. So this is going to be the distance between the two base pair. So I hope you understood the structure of helix, right? So now with this data we can actually calculate that how many total base pair exist in one DNA. We will do this calculation later in this chapter, right? So this is about the structure of the helix. I hope you got each and every point very clearly. Let us repeat what we have discussed today. We have actually discussed about the DNA composition, helix composition, like it is composed of two polynucleotide chain. Sugar phosphate forms backbone of the DNA strand. Nitrogen bases form the interior, which is paired up by the hydrogen bond. Complementary base pairing are there. Uniform distance is maintained between the two strands of helix. Two polynucleotide chains have anti-parallel polarity, and two polynucleotide chains are coiled in a right-handed fashion in forming the helix. And we have also discussed about the very important parameter, and the very important parameter is actually the pitch of helix. Pitch of helix is nothing, it is the one turn of the DNA helix. In one turn of the DNA helix 10 base pairs are there, and the distance between the pitch and the distance of the pitch is 3.4 nanometer. In this distance 10 base pairs are there, and the distance between two base pair is 0.34 nanometer. So this is about the DNA helix. This is about the structure of DNA helix. In the next video we will discuss about the packing of DNA. So till then, have a nice day and thank you.